Today, we're tackling a massive open-world design challenge and looking at exactly how one of the biggest developers in the industry is solving it. We're talking about GTA 6, and specifically how Rockstar fills open space. Okay, let's dive right into this. Beyond the neon skyline. I want you to consider this idea for a second. If you think GTA 6 is just Vice City, you're missing half the story. It is so incredibly easy to get tunnel vision when it comes to highly anticipated games like this. We naturally focus on the core city, the absolute epicenter of the action. But Rockstar's ambitions for this map stretch far, far beyond those city limits. If we only focus on the downtown area, we're literally ignoring the vast majority of the playable space. Now that neon skyline is absolutely what Rockstar wants you to remember. It's the hook, it's flashy, it's dense, it's super vibrant. But we have to look beyond it. In stark contrast to that urban jungle, we have the wider environments of the state of Leonida, and Leonida contains environments that couldn't possibly be more different from downtown Vice City. It's not just some static backdrop, it's a sprawling, incredibly diverse ecosystem completely surrounding the urban center. But designing a massive surrounding state introduces a very specific dilemma. Section 2, the open world problem. So the absolutely crucial challenge here is what game designers call the empty space problem. This happens when a map is enormous, but it still feels completely boring to play in. You see, just making a map geographically huge doesn't mean it's actually good. If a developer just creates a massive landmass and fills it with empty, uninteresting space, the player is going to get fatigued really quickly. Open-world games struggle with this exact problem all the time. A map can boast record-breaking square mileage, sure, but if there's nothing captivating between point A and point B, the whole illusion just falls apart. So, how exactly does Rockstar solve this? Well, Section 3, Variety in Leonida. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer volume of distinct ecological and structural zones Rockstar is building to combat that empty space. We aren't just getting a few generic suburbs. We're getting deep wetlands. We're getting winding rural roads. We've got small, tight-knit communities tucked away from the metropolis, gritty industrial areas, gorgeous tropical islands, and, of course, large stretches of open landscape. By breaking up the map into these wildly different zones, the space is no longer just empty. It becomes a heavily curated experience designed to keep you visually and mechanically engaged the entire time. Let's actually take a visual journey through what that feels like for a player. In one section of the game, you're surrounded by dense traffic and towering skyscrapers, right? You're feeling the claustrophobic high-energy pulse of Vice City. But then, you drive outwards. Suddenly, you're navigating through deep, waterlogged terrain in the wetlands. Or somewhere else entirely, you could find yourself crossing a remote island completely surrounded by the vast open ocean. Juxtaposing these extreme environments means the player's brain is constantly stimulated by shifting horizons, shifting colors, and entirely new terrain. And that brings us to the psychological payoff of all this design, Section 4, a true sense of travel. It really all comes down to this fundamental realization. You're not just driving across a map, you're moving between different worlds. These extreme transitions create something that a simple, uniform city map simply cannot accomplish. They create a genuine, palpable sense of travel. I mean, think about it. When you leave that neon skyline and find yourself deep in a rural community, or you're crossing an ocean straight to a tropical island, you feel like you've actually gone somewhere. The distance means something, because the world around you has completely transformed. And that brings us to a really fascinating conclusion. Vice City might be the star, but Leonida is the stage. Because of this incredible variety and that distinct sense of moving between worlds, it's highly likely that the areas beyond Vice City, those wetlands, the small communities, the tropical islands, might actually become some of the most memorable parts of the entire game. The wild areas are what give the city its context, and they are what truly solve that empty space problem. So we know how they're filling the space. We know they're using incredible environmental transitions to make literally every mile matter. But it leaves us with one final, thrilling unknown as we wrap up this explainer. If Leonida is the stage, and it's filled with this much incredible variety, just how big is the stage of Leonida? Honestly, the stage might be much bigger than any of us currently realize. It is definitely something to think about.